Run. What a run. Marshall. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Receivers, and this time he lost one and it's picked off.
And Brady and Moss hook up. Great football players showing why they're great.
He's got it. 20, 10. He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans.
Well, good evening, fantasy football fanatics. And March Madness is upon us. We are like balls to the wall with all this college basketball stuff happening. We got the play-ins last night, tonight, everything. We got underdogs. We got upsets. We got everything. We got some trades going on in the NFL. We got free agency in full swing. We have a guest on tonight with Cyborg. Cyborg, I want to come to you first before I do my promos with my sponsors, because dude, I really dig your stuff. I dig your pool that you do. And why don't you talk just a little bit about what you're going on, and then we'll bring you back in after a couple minutes and we'll talk more about it. But just give us a brief update about what your pool's all about.
Oh man, March Madness. I mean, who can't get excited? I mean, even if you don't really follow college basketball, because I didn't, but I knew the importance of March Madness. It's a phenomenon kind of thing. It's its own separate thing, you know. It's its own fan base, and so there's a big community out there. So I opened up this pool the first year. You know, it was a couple of, about 30 guys, 40, whatever. It just has grown since. So last year we had over 200 paid people in there. The pot was right at $7,000. Right now, last I checked, it was at about $4,500 right now, and the payments are still coming in. I mean, I'm still getting notifications on my phone here. I've got it right here. Got to keep up with them payments, but yeah, it's you don't really have to know a lot about it. I mean, Sleeper gives you some information on the profiles, the game profiles, and so forth, and so you can kind of just go by expert opinions, and couple of different sites will give you a full-blown filled out bracket if you want to just copy it, really. But not the ESPN guys, though. Don't not ESPN. Anyway.
Yeah, last year it was great fun. I did it for the first time last year. I was pretty lucky last year. I think I finished second overall in that pool. And,
he did. That's right. Oh, thank you, man. Man, I've had a few drinks, so I'm feeling pretty good. I totally forgot about that.
I won like $1,700, and I missed first place by like 7 points, so that was pretty cool. We're going to have
one bracket.
Have some information we're going to post about your pool here in just a little bit. We're going to
get
into
one bracket.
Things.
Just one bracket.
Yeah, I played one bracket last year.
One bracket.
Yeah.
Dude won with one bracket. Okay.
Yeah, man. And it couldn't have happened at a better time because it came right during my motorcycle accident and I was off work. So that's
right.
Came in handy. But
that's right.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more and promote your league. You and I met through the Ballsville football stuff last year. Great fun over there at Ballsville I had with all you guys. And when you sent me the new invite for this year, I couldn't miss it. I had to jump in and so we'll get some of that information out to all the followers and all the listeners tonight in just a minute. But first off, I want to thank our sponsors over at Premier Properties, Steve and Nikki. We always want to thank you guys for everything you do for us financially and with our legal group and help us grow on our Tampa media. I also want to thank Norm over at the Freaky Tiki. Norm, I know you're just getting married and everything. I know you're busy. Hernando Beach, boat tours out here with the Freaky Tiki. Want to thank my wife and the Tailgater Deluxe with our charity. Everything's going great with that. So all that, a bit about the trades that happened this week, couple of them, not all of them, but we're going to talk about the Waddle trade from the Miami Dolphins to the Denver Broncos. You know anything about that one there, Cyborg?
I actually only found out about that about 10 minutes ago, so I'm still kind of absorbing it.
I'm going to go ahead and bring you up to date. It looks like the Miami Dolphins are going to be first to say they're going to tank this year. They are going into a total rebuild because I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't even trade Achane before it's all over. But anyways, Waddle goes to the Denver Broncos for a first 26, which is the 30th pick overall in this year's draft, a third, which is a total overall 94th pick in the third round. and 130th fourth pick they swap. So they give the Denver Broncos Waddle and a fourth round, 111th overall. And then Miami gets a first round, a third round, and a fourth round. To me, from a fantasy standpoint, I think this hurts Waddle's value from a standalone. I was looking so forward to it, knowing they're releasing Hill and everything. And then the new quarterback, I thought, okay, cool. This is going to up Waddle value if he stayed at Miami. But by him going over there and having to deal with Sutton, Franklin, and Mims, I don't know. I think it drops his value. What do you think, Cyborg?
Yeah, that kind of. I've been drafting Sutton a lot lately, so that kind of makes me worry.
Kind of adds to the wide receiver room over there. So to me, it's always when you have more target share spread out, it definitely takes away from whether it's a number one or a number two. So as far as Waddle goes, I was a little disappointed in seeing the trade happen. I'm glad he gets out of Miami, but I just think he would have made a great number one at Miami. And it just goes to show that, you know, with all the dead cap money that Miami's got, you know, with them taking Malik Willis, it's definitely screaming rebuild. So we'll see what they end up doing and what they do in the draft. They got some draft capital now, so we'll see how they play with it. We got some other free agency moves. Hollywood Brown, wide receiver from the Kansas City Chiefs, he moves over to the Philadelphia Eagles today. So that's an interesting one. I don't know if that's a domino effect that's getting ready to take place with A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown's wanting to get out of Philly. I don't know if them by taking Brown, Hollywood Brown, that starts setting things up. Philly also made another move today. They picked up Andy Dalton, the Carolina Panthers, for a 7th round pick back to the Panthers, which this, I think, is also another domino effect. I think this is going to free it up for Howie Roseman to move Tanner McKee. I've looked for Tanner McKee, the rookie that was backing up Jalen Hurts. I look for them to peddle him off and trade him. He's a great backup quarterback. He's young. He needs to learn, but he showed some sparks last year. And so with Dalton getting over there, as a veteran, I think that'll free it up to where Tanner McKee comes out. But what do you think, Cyborg, about Hollywood Brown coming out of the Chiefs and heading over there to Philly?
I don't know. There's so much been a lot of talk over the past couple of years about Hollywood Brown. I mean, but it's just not been I don't know with Philly. Man, I don't know where Philly is right now, to tell you the truth. I mean, I don't, they're way up in the air. I mean,
this A.J. Brown thing, and I think, with them, they let loose of a lot of great defensive players in the beginning of the draft. In fact, to the Panthers. So, they must have a good relationship with the Panthers. They're doing a lot of business with the Panthers these days. So I wouldn't even be surprised to see if Tanner McKee goes down there. But maybe not, though, because I guess they just took, Kenny Pickett from the Raiders they peddled him off to the Panthers. So, yeah, McKee probably I think McKee would be a good fit up in Pittsburgh or something along those lines. But let's get back into the March Madness. I know you got to get out of here, Cyborg. I just wanted to extend the invite to you tonight. I know you got a lot going on. You're trying to fill this up and get things going. So I'm going to let you talk about that a little bit more here. I also want to bring up, so any of you guys that are interested tonight in getting in Cyborg's pool, you can go to Sleeper. It's in Sleeper. The name of the pool is Hotter Than Hell. Cyborg is a really big rock and roll guy. I mean, he always patterns everything he does around rock and roll, whether it's AC/DC, Pink Floyd, you name it. This guy knows everything about rock and roll, man. So this is the name of the league. You can look it up in Sleeper or hit Cyborg up in Sleeper. You can hit me up after the show, and I can send you an invite. But, guys, get in this pool. You can I'll let Cyborg tell everything about it. But this is the pool. In Cyborg, go ahead and take it away, man. Promote.
Yeah, it's $20. $20 for one bracket, $10 for each additional bracket, up to 3. That's pretty much the standard. I know some do 5. Me personally, I got one year that was 5, and I was like, man, I really only have 3 in mind, and then I just repeat it, whatever other pools I go to. That's a lot of work. And so, you really most average people do about 2 or 3. And, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The pot right now is about $4,500. So yes, do come join. The final hours are now happening, and it ends tomorrow at tip-off of game 1, which happens at noon Eastern, 11 Central. So all the brackets locked down pretty much everywhere, pretty much on every platform, I believe. So everybody's going to be cramming tonight and cramming in the morning. And I haven't even begun. So I'm going to be cramming big time tonight. So
I got a couple questions for you. I accidentally tapped to do the 3 leagues. I already paid for the 2. If I don't pay that 3rd league, it'll just drop off, right?
Oh yeah. Or you can go delete it. If you tap on the bracket that you created, you don't want to use, and go up to the gear icon at the top there. Okay. It'll let you delete that particular bracket, and that would help me.
You also do the tiebreaker for the tiebreaker is total points between the final 2, right?
Correct. Yeah, standard. Yes, correct.
Yeah, I finally got that to go through. I was having some problems with the sleeper app with that, but I did get that worked out. So, but yeah, you guys hit Cyborg up, get in this bracket, and it's a lot of fun. How many people you got in right now? How many?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Right, I got about. Right now, we have 130 paid users. We have 309 paid brackets in play. The pot is at actually. I'm sorry, I told you wrong earlier. It's at 4,350 as of this moment. 4,350.
So it's getting up there. It's getting up there fast. So
anybody
that's interested in March Madness, go in it and vote for your favorite team. While you're here, Cyborg, I want to bring this up. This is kind of big news to us down here. Big news, guys. This is an eye opener today. We had USF Bulls are in the bracket this year, first time in a long time, and they're going up against Louisville. And this game is tomorrow, and we found out today that the number 1 point guard for Louisville is out with a back issue, so he is not going to play against the USF Bulls. So this really ups. I mean, this cat is one of the best shooting guards in college basketball. He is probably a top 10 lottery pick for the for the NBA draft if he decides to go into the draft. But this kid is going to be out for Louisville, which really ups the odds for UCF or USF. The Bulls have a good chance of winning this game. They were 6-point underdogs in this. And I saw the line drop to 4.5 today. What do you think about that matchup between USF Bulls and Louisville?
With me, I'm unfamiliar with those teams, but it sounds pretty devastating. It sounds like a big star. Yeah, I mean the way you so it sounds like they're going to have some issues there. So
this just came out.
Man, I'm gonna make sure to watch that one. I'm gonna watch that one.
This kid's been dealing with this injury off and on, and they did pull him out. Now they do say he may, if they make it to the next round, that he may play later, but he is definitely out for tomorrow night. With USF. Who's your favorite? Give me your top. Who your top pick is. Your top number 1 seed, and then also tell me one of your big upsets that you think is going to happen, Cyborg.
Oh man, like I said, man, I haven't even done my homework yet, man. I just go back to my rooting for my Texas teams. I know Houston's got a shot in there somewhere.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Yeah. And,
all right.
But and Texas, what happened to Texas? Not A&M, the Longhorn. What happened to it? I don't know.
I don't know. They supposed to be in a play-in game. I don't know what all is going on with that.
Yeah.
But anyways, Cyborg, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight. I know you were in a big rush and told me I couldn't keep you very long, so I want to live up to that. But I did want to give you an opportunity to promote your stuff because I know we're right down to the final hour. And, I am living proof that you can play one bracket. and win some money in your stuff. I won $1,700 and finished second on one bracket last year.
That's right. He's right. He's right. You know that meme. He's right. He's right. He's proof of it. Yes, absolutely. So come on and join, man. Come join the fun. It's only $20, man. I mean, you pay more for that for lunch nowadays. I mean, it's ridiculous. I get you, but hey, come on.
All right, Cyborg, I'm going to cut you loose. I'm glad that you ended up coming on the show tonight. I appreciate you. Welcome anytime, and we'll keep plugging it tonight throughout the show. But get back to work, get that money raked in, and hey, that's another thing, guys. I just want to make a statement here before Cyborg leaves. This man busts his ass to make this pool work, and he does not take a rake off of this like a lot of other guys will take a rake off of this. He does not take a rake. He gives it all to the players. All the money goes to the players. So get in there, check it out. And again, the name of the league, you guys, is Hotter Than Hell. It's on Sleeper. You cannot miss it. Get on there, get in there, and support this guy. Have a lot of fun and win some money. So go Cyborg.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
All right, Cyborg. We'll catch you around, brother. I love you.
All right. Later on.
All right, Cyborg. That is our man, Cyborg. Yeah, guys, if you're looking for a great March Madness pool, it's a fun one. He has a lot of fun, a lot of interaction amongst all the players. The chat rooms can get a little bit trash talk-ish. It's a lot of fun. I noticed yesterday, some of the Ballsville chat guys that like to raise a lot of hell were in there giving some guys some shit, and it was a lot of fun to watch. I didn't get involved because I just thought better of it, but the same old troll trash talking going on in there, and Cyborg had to deal with that yesterday. So, but it's a lot of fun. Get in there. If you're into basketball, you're into college, March Madness, that's a place to be. I know there's a lot of pools where you can go spend your money, but I'm telling you what, that's a good old boy from Texas, and he's a good people. It's a lot of fun. So if you're wanting to check it out, get in there. Hit me up if you guys need any more information on that. All right, so we all done with them free agencies, the trade. Okay, I want to address this real quick. I know I take part in the Tampa media down here pretty much big time, okay? But 3 stories that I'm really sick of talking about in football. I'm over it. I am over the Max Crosby, Baltimore Raiders issue. I don't give a shit if Max Crosby wants to go on and tell his side of the story. The Ravens want to tell their side of the story. It's a goddamn debacle, and it is a mess. And I'm tired of seeing Max Crosby on Twitter. I'm tired of seeing him on Facebook. I'm tired of talking about Max Crosby. I am tired of talking about A.J. Brown. Either trade the guy, keep the guy. I'm tired of thinking of where he could end up. He wants out. He's going to stay. I'm sick of talking about A.J. Brown. And I am goddamn tired of talking about Mike Evans. Okay? I love all you guys in the media down here in Tampa Bay. I love you guys. I love all the radio station guys. I love all the journalism guys. I love Jason Light. I can't stand Todd Bowles. I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I am sick and tired of every goddamn station I listen to or anybody I come into contact with in Tampa Bay. All they want to do is talk about Mike Evans. Guys, this is a business. This is football. This is NFL professional football. If the guy don't want to play in Tampa Bay and he decides to move on, it's no different than any other player getting traded, moving in free agency. It ain't that big a deal. Yes, he's a future Hall of Famer, ballot one. I get it. He has been here since day one. He was Jason Light's first-round pick, and he was Jason Light's first ever draft pick. I get it. I get that we get attached to football players, hockey players, baseball players. I don't care. Guys, let it go. It's time to start talking about what are we going to do in free agency? What are we going to do in Tampa Bay in the draft? Mike Evans is gone. It's over. He's signed his contract. He did it for whatever reasons you want to talk about. I've heard so many reasons of why Mike Evans left. And now today, we want to talk about George Kittle going on air and telling Mike Evans how great it is in San Francisco that, oh, they got great airplane rides. They give them first class ride. They give them all the food they can eat 24 hours a day. They got massage therapists. They got all this shit that they do for them in San Francisco. And how then you got the Tampa Bay people talking about how bad Tampa Bay and the Glazers did on their grading of their facility and their food and this. And that's why Mike Evans left. And Mike Evans left because it's 3rd and 28. Give it up. It's a goddamn professional football game. And these guys do it for whatever reasons they want to do it. Yep, you can look at Mike's contract and say he goddamn sure didn't do it for the money because he's only going to get $16 million this year. It's a front-end loaded contract. It's basically a one-year type contract, maybe 2. The guy's 32 years old, guys. We have a stacked wide receiver room in Tampa Bay. Mike Evans is gone. It's over. It's done. Quit fucking talking about it because it's getting old. It's getting old. So those 3, Max Crosby, A.J. Brown, and Mike Evans, rip it up, tear it up, get them the hell out of here. I'm tired of talking about it. It's over. Let's go into 2026 and start deciding how we're going to make Tampa Bay Bucks better without Mike Evans. All right, I got that rant off. Jesus Christ, that's been bugging me all week long. All right, here's something I want to talk about. Second-year wide receiver breakouts. What do you guys think is going to happen? All right, you got Tet down there at the Panthers, Travis Hunter up there in Jacksonville, Matthew Golden at Green Bay, Mbuka down here in Tampa, Luther Burden. That's a nice, tricky little play right there. I like that one for the Chicago Bears with DJ Moore on his way out and into Buffalo. And then you got Jaden Higgins, the Iowa State standout going to Houston. Now, let's back up and talk about this for just a second. Let's go ahead and get Travis Hunter out of the way. Okay, yes, he's got a wife that likes to sleep around. He's got a wife that wants to collect money from him. He should have signed a prenup like Shedeur Sanders told him, and like everybody else. This broad likes to sleep with coaches and yada, 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 yada. Is Travis Hunter going to play wide receiver this year, or is he going to play defense? So, to me, I would wipe him off of this list right away just for that reason. Because he's a two-way player. I don't think he's going to get the time in Jacksonville at wide receiver enough to be considered a breakout. Coming off of the injury. So I'm going to take him off that list. Now, Matthew Golden will be the second one off this list for me because I really don't think, even with Dobbs gone, that's going to give Matthew Golden a little bit of upside with Dobbs taking off and going to New England. So you got Reed, Watson, Wicks, Golden out there. So Golden may take a step up, but is he in a position to break out? He's not going to make the top 5 on this list for me. I'd put him down there by taking Hunter down there to the number 6 spot, and then I would put Matthew Golden in the number 5. Now, breakout year, I honestly think Mbuka already kind of really had that before his injury last year. Mike Evans out. In everything Mbuka did in the first 5-6 games last year at Tampa Bay, I think he had a great breakout year 1, to be honest with you. Now, Luther Burden, this is a unique one here because Luther Burden, he's playing behind DJ Moore. He was playing behind on Doomsday, and they had a pretty good wide receiver room going on. However, with DJ Moore gone to the Bills, I think Luther Burden is a very tricky play here. I think this kid could have a brilliant breakout year. So that kind of piques my interest. Now, with Mike Evans gone, Mbuka has to prove he can be the number 1. Now, is he going to take that away from Godwin? I don't know. Godwin coming off the injury, took him a slow stunt to get going back into last year. So Mbuka's another kind of tricky play here, but I would put him kind of in that same category as Burden. Now, Jaden Higgins from Houston, they just got rid of Kirk. Christian Kirk went out, is now a 49er alongside of Mike Evans. And we still don't know what's going to go on out there. We're going to talk a little bit about Jennings here in a little bit. But the Jaden Higgins thing, is he going to step up and be a number one? Is he going to take that away from Nico Collins? I don't think so. So I'm going to put Jaden Higgins a little bit below Luther and Mbuka, but the one I would really look for to be the breakout in year 2 is Tet. Now, we all wanted to get our shares of Tet last year in draft. Really didn't start off strong last year, ended up being pretty good, and started picking up and became a target. Now, you got Coker down there too that's taken some plays away from him. But I think Tet wins this outright as my number one breakout for year 2. I would then make it a cat fight between Mbuka and Burden. I think Mbuka will probably win that just without Mike Evans there. I think he's got a little bit, step up on Burden as far as, quarterback relationships, snaps, pass attempts, all of that. He played a lot more than Burden did last year. So I look for Mbuka to be the number 2 on this list, then Burden, then Jaden. That's kind of how I see it. You guys, let me know give me your thoughts on it. What you guys think? Hit me up in chat. Let me know what you guys think about that one. All right, so let's move on past that. We're all done with those. Okay, Jimbo's hot takes. Guess what? I'm not going to do a hot take right now, but I am going to pat myself on the back. I haven't been hitting my hot takes as well as I normally do. I gotta sharpen my pencil and get back on track here a little bit. So this is going to help me start getting back on track because I nailed this one long time ago. I nailed this back around Christmas time last year in 2025 when all the shit started with White running back at Tampa Bay and all the shit that went on down here in Tampa. I told you guys he was going to end up at the Redskins. I knew it in my heart. I knew it from some inside sources that I had. I played that card. I put it out there as a Jimbo's hot take that White was going to end up playing with his good buddy Jaden Daniels out there in Washington at the Redskins. So that all came to fruition. However, White really didn't get a whole lot of money to go play for the Commanders, so we'll see. White's going to be out there. They just picked up Ford from Cleveland, and then they got, Mr. Bill out there, the rookie. So we'll see. This is definitely going to be a competition. To be honest with you, Ford is a grinder. He's a hard runner. Ford coming out of Cleveland and ending up out here, I think that's a great move for the Commanders with Ford and White and Mr. Bill. I think they got a pretty good running back room. It's definitely going to be by committee next year, so don't look for any of these 3 guys to lead this backfield as a bell cow. That's not going to happen. I think you'll see Ford and White kind of run the show. We'll see if the rookie can push his way through. Obviously, year 2 for Mr. Bill. We'll see how it ends up. But I'm glad to see that Jimbo's got this one right. White moving on to the Commanders. So we wish him the best of luck out there. We do a little bit of fantasy football stuff with this guy. He was involved in some of our DFS advisor pool. He helped us out a lot with the app. I spent some time with White, in the locker room, spent some time with White, in the Tampa Bay area off site. So kind of, did some things with him personally. So this one's kind of close to my heart. We'll see how it ends up. We look to get White on the show. He's promised me he'll do it. So we'll see how that ends up as the season goes now that he's in DC. But actually, well, I won't make that on air. But anyway, it's a good deal. Look forward to White being at the Commanders. All right, we said we were going to talk about Jennings. Let's talk a little bit about Jennings. All right. I don't think the 49ers are going to pay this guy what he wants. In fact, it's all over the airwaves, all over social media, that he wants way too much money to go back to the 49ers. And if you look at what the 49ers did with Mike Evans and what they just did with Christian Kirk, I don't think Jennings is going to be back at the 49ers. So now a good landing spot for this guy, I don't know. There's a lot of options in all reality. You know, the Raiders are still looking for wide receivers. You know, Kansas City needs some wide receivers. I think this would be a great landing spot for Jennings to end up being at the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see what they do. But this one's up in the air. This is one of your bigger free agency moves that's going to happen, yet to happen. Where he ends up, we'll see. The guy's a good wide receiver when he's healthy. I think any wide receiver that's been playing for the 49ers has just gone through hell with, you know, Brock Purdy in and out, Mac Jones, you know, the Brandon Ayuk bullshit that went on out there, Debo leaving last year before. It's just, I don't think he's going to go back to the 49ers. That's what my heart's telling me. Where he ends up, I'd like to see him be a Kansas City Chief. I wouldn't mind to see him, you know, maybe, I don't know. He could end up in Jacksonville. We'll see what goes on. So Jennings is somebody to keep a track on, especially if you got him on your fantasy teams. We were just talking about Jacksonville. So how do you guys feel about this? This one blew me away. I can't believe they let Etienne go. Etienne is now a New Orleans Saint, and Tootin steps into the number one position in Jacksonville. Do you guys think he's a number one running back? Do you honestly think he is a bell cow? Do you think he is a true number one running back? Obviously, right now it's his game to lose. We'll see what they do. This Tootin thing really kind of caught me off guard because I kind of kicking myself in the ass because I never really believed Etienne would leave Jacksonville, especially with the relationship he's got with Trevor Lawrence. I didn't think he'd leave. I didn't think they'd let him out. So I never really had a chance from a fantasy standpoint. I just wasn't convinced that Tootin was going to be all that relevant in Jacksonville. Now under Liam Cohen, I actually started thinking, okay, I saw what Liam Cohen did when he was in Tampa with Bucky Irving and Rachaad White. So I thought, okay, I better start picking up some shares of Tootin because I know how Liam Cohen likes to run his offense. And then all of a sudden, Etienne is just gone. And now it's the Tootin show. So let me know how you guys feel. I know I do not have a lot of stock. If you don't have a lot of stock, I suggest you buy, sell, trade, do whatever you got to do and start picking up some Tootin shares in Jacksonville because I don't see them making a whole lot of other plays for running back. There's not a whole lot of running backs left available that are worth a shit. So going to be interesting. You know, they got that Allen kid out there that was a rookie. He definitely going to be the number 2 at this point. We'll see what they end up doing, but I would be buy, sell, trade, do whatever you got to do to get yourself some Tootin shares. That's my play on that. All right, we already talked about the Waddle thing. I'll just touch back on it again real quick. This is what Miami ended up getting. This is what Denver ended up getting. They got Waddle in the 4th round pick. They basically swapped 4th rounds, gave him a 20-some pick sooner pick. But Miami, guys, Miami is going to be a dumpster fire come 2026. And the big loser in all of this for me, for the Miami Dolphins, is Malik Willis. I mean, this kid, granted, he's getting paid more money than a lot of people think he's worth. But it just kind of sucks to see now. I mean, what are they down to? Atwell, Tolbert, and Malik Washington. Those are their 3 wide receivers in the reject tight end out of Denver that's already been played for 2-3 other teams. Dulich, whatever. I did see the Lions picked up Dortch today in the wide receiver out of the Cardinals. That was kind of a weird one. I don't know what the Lions are doing there. The Lions are kind of like a mirrored Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's like they're swapping players back and forth between the two of them, kind of like the Panthers and Phillies doing. I don't know. It's like nobody really wants to make a splash in free agency, and not to really say there was a whole lot of splashes out there. To me, the splashing is over with. There ain't a whole lot left out there other than, piecemeal patching things together till the draft gets here. And, the draft is pretty interesting. And while we're talking about the draft, I'll go ahead and get into it. But, Jeremiah Love is probably the next highest running back since Barkley in the draft. What Barkley go, number 2 overall? All right. So a lot of people, including me. Now I've been singing this song for the last month and a half that Jeremiah Love is going to the Titans. And especially after today, I don't think he's going anywhere else and it all makes sense. So Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, I'm going to go ahead and put the uniform on him now, and I think he's going to be a Tennessee Titan. So that's a Jimbo's hot take. You can take it or leave it. I don't think he gets out of the 4th round. And then let's just say he doesn't go to Tennessee, and Tennessee ends up going offense, defensive line. Why they would is beyond me. But do the Giants take him at number 5 with Scadaboo, and they just picked up Richard from Baltimore? I think they'd be stupid not to take him. Anybody from the Titans down that don't take this cat next is stupid. I don't care what you got for running back. This guy is probably the number 1. It's so hard because so many teams go based on need. So many teams have gotten away from drafting the best overall player in the draft. And it takes a big set of balls as a general manager to continue to pick the best overall player out of the draft versus the best overall player of what your needs are. So does he go number 4? And if he doesn't go number 4, where's he go? I don't think the Titans let this kid go. So I'm just going to move on from it. I think Jeremiah Love is going at the 104 to the Tennessee Titans. That's my take on that. This is another guy that has really moved up in the draft talk. Ty Simpson. There's been guys that are saying he's better than Mendoza. There's guys that are saying he's as good as Mendoza. So does somebody jump up there in the 1st round and make a reach for Ty Simpson? I think it's pretty possible. I really even would not doubt. I really would not doubt that the Cardinals take this guy number 3. I don't know. There has been a lot of talk and a lot of movement on Ty Simpson this week. So is he that good? Is he better than Mendoza? Is he as good as Mendoza? Does someone jump up and make a reach? Or is he more realistically a early 2nd, mid-2nd round pick? I'm going to go ahead and say Jimbo's hot take on this one. I think somebody's going to reach in the 1st round and grab this guy. So we'll see what happens with Ty Simpson. I'm not that high on him. I think he's an okay quarterback. There's some other quarterbacks in this draft that I think are better than Ty Simpson. But is someone really willing to take that leap? So many of these NFL teams want to grab someone that is capable of playing now. Other than Mendoza, this guy is capable of playing now. We'll see what happens. Is he a all-star breakout type of quarterback? I don't think so, but I do think you will see someone get desperate and make a reach and grab this guy in the first round. All right, so enough of that. Let's move on to this. This is kind of exciting. Talk a little bit about this, the draft. Since we're talking about rookies, we're talking about the draft. Inner Circle Entertainment and DFS Advisor is proud to announce that we had sent 2 people to the NFL draft in Pittsburgh, Brian Zeller out of Charlotte and Christian Alexander out of Dallas. You guys, all took part in the DFS Advisor app. It all turned out great, great fun. So happy for everybody. And guys, if you don't have the DFS Advisor app, you need to get it. And the only way to do it is with me personally. I don't put it out there for the trolls. I don't put it out there online. It is something that we at Inner Circle Entertainment have decided to do from a very small standpoint. Like I've always said since I went out on my own, I am not looking at getting big, okay? I'm not looking at having 35 leagues. I'm not interested in brackets. I'm not interested in collective, in raking, and I'm not interested in numbers. I could give a shit less about numbers. I'm interested in having a small group of guys that like to play fantasy football, have a good time, and do some really special stuff for the guys that are in our leagues. So if you guys are interested, hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me. And but just want to recognize these 2 guys. I hope they have a blast at the draft. So that is something that we had been working on through the months and came to fruition. So that was a great deal. All right, check this out. Let's shift gears for just a second. This girl, you guys know this girl? Natalie Decker, NASCAR. This girl goes into, the campgrounds and is taking her driver uniform off and showing her boobs with her bra on and, all this stuff and saying that her breast implants cost about the same as 2 sets of tires. But anyways, this girl has been getting a lot of press. All right. So Natalie Decker, she's a great girl. She's a great race car driver. She's just getting into it. And she ain't afraid to party. She ain't afraid to be real. She's taking a lot of criticism. Her sponsors really don't give a shit. They back her. I'm glad to see it. I like to see a woman in a man's world that is real. And if you go to a NASCAR race and you've ever been into the infield, if you've ever been in the campgrounds of some of these racetracks, it's a goddamn shit show, man. It's fun. People are taking their clothes off. People are showing their tits. People are doing all this crazy stuff, and it's a good time. And guess what? Her taking down her driver uniform and showing her bra is not a big deal. It ain't no different than a bathing suit top. It ain't that big a deal. But you see this dude standing next to her? Look at the smile on that dude's face. All right? It's about the fans. It's about the people that pay your check. And this girl knows how to play into it. She's having a good time. She is not a sleazeball. She's a professional race car driver, and she knows how to market herself. So yay to Natalie Decker. You get my vote, girl. Go show your boobies off and do whatever you want to do. Just continue to have fun because that's what it's all about. Another thing we need to talk about in NASCAR, I don't have slides on, but Alex Bowman is a sick pup. Alex Bowman from Hendrick Motorsports, 48 car. The dude is dealing with vertigo. He's had a couple head injuries from hitting the wall. He's a young dude. They're starting to catch up with him. He's out for the next 3 races. And Justin Allgaier from Junior Motorsports, the Xfinity driver that drives for Junior, he's done some fill-ins before for Hendrick. He's kind of the go-to guy for Hendrick when they need a fill-in. So Justin Allgaier is going to be filling in for Alex Bowman for the next 3 races. So keep in mind and keep Alex Bowman in your prayers as he tries to recover from vertigo. We've got a special deal coming up in NASCAR. I don't know if you guys are old enough or any of you guys remember the old IROC series. Dale Earnhardt used to be in it. Mark Martin was in it. All these guys, Tony Stewart was in it. We used to bring, guys from Open Wheel into IROC. The IROC was kind of a spin-off specialty type race where all the cars were same. They were the same setup, same shock, same spring, same tires, same motors. Everything was exactly the same except the driver. So the IROC Camaro, the IROC race, they're bringing that back in April. Going to have the IROC back, and guess who's going to be in it? Just a couple names. I'm sure there'll be more. Jeff Gordon's going to race back in it again. Kenny Schrader's going to come and make an appearance in the IROC. Mark Martin's going to jump back into an IROC car. So this is going to be cool. It's coming up in April. So if you guys are into the old IROC series, you're into seeing some of your old heroes from NASCAR, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Kenny Schrader. I know all three of them guys were great race car drivers. And be glad to see them get back in the seats. So that's kind of cool. This kind of made some news today. Matt Leinart, USC, went to college at USC, and USC retired his number at USC. Well, in the last couple of days and over the past few months, Matt Leinart has been getting phone calls, been getting emails, has been getting calls from USC, have been getting calls from players that are coming in and want him to unretire his number. Now, I got mixed feelings about retiring numbers. I think retiring numbers is a good thing. Unretiring numbers, to me, is a bad thing. I'm all for guys paying, if they want to pay a player that's got their number and they want that number when they get there, and that guy wants to make a couple $1 million and you're stupid enough to give him the money to pay for a number, I get it. But once a number is retired, I believe it should stay that way. Now, Matt Leinart has told all these guys to go pound sand that he is not going to unretire his number. His Heisman year at USC, he is not going to retire his number. And the only person that would ever wear that number again at USC would be his son. So I support that decision. And any of you guys that are out there thinking that Matt Leinart's an asshole because he doesn't want to unretire his number, go pound sand, because he earned it in college. And if he wants to keep that number retired, it should stay that way. It's just like the dude that got drafted last year, Carter, to the New York Giants, and thought that he was, honorable enough to receive the number from my phone's ringing. It screwed me all up. The linebacker number that he should have got out there. So a retired number should stay a retired number. Once it's retired, if somebody has an active number and somebody's wearing it and a player wants to sell it to the guy, I'm all for that. But kudos to Matt Leinart. Keep your number retired. If your son makes it to USC and you want to give it to him, give it to him. I think that's the way it should say. And Matt Leinart had a good point. He said, with the way the NIL is these days, I go ahead and unretire my number. Somebody gets it for a year, and the next year they decide to leave USC, and the number's junk after that, and the guy only stayed a year. So he's got a good point. Keep your number retired. I think it's a good deal. All right, we talked about the Jordan Love. We talked about the Ty Simpson. I want to talk a little bit about how much money's left out there in free agency, cap numbers, how much money people got to spend. This list looked way different the beginning of opening day of free agency. The Raiders were right up there with the most money. The Titans spent a little bit of money. They still got a lot of money. They got $63.5 million yet to go. The Chargers got a pretty good bankroll. The Commanders, the Redskins got some good money to spend. So there's some money to spend here. The Cardinals, the 49ers, the Eagles, they got almost $39 million. So what are some of the moves some of these teams could be making in free agency that are worth spending some money? So these guys got some money. Now, whether they decide to shoot their wad before draft time, I don't know. Do they hang on to it until after the draft. Let's see how we get through OTAs, see how we do through training camp, and start moving some of this money around. There still is some players out there. Don't forget, Debo's a little older, but yet he's still out there. I mean, Diggs is still a free agent. You still got some guys out there that are free agents. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if the Steelers have many more moves to make before. They may make some moves on defense, but I really don't know who's capable on defense that they would want to go after. Same with the Patriots. They got $37 million. Do they, is there an A.J. Brown suitor here somewhere? I don't so much think that the A.J. Brown thing is a money thing. I think in order to get A.J. Brown away from Philly, you're going to have to come up with a first-round pick and some money. Now, I've heard Roseman wants a first and a second. I don't think he's worth a first and a second. I don't even know if I'd give a first for the dude just because of the baggage. So let's just look at this list and look at who's willing to take a chance on baggage. And realistically, the Jets, but I don't think Brown's stupid enough to do that. I still think the landing spot for this guy is going to end up being the Patriots. Now, the Chargers are a very weird looking deal too, because the Chargers need help at wide receiver, and the Chargers have a very solid head coach, has someone that is level-headed and can deal with an attitude. Look for the Chargers maybe to spend some money on this. They've kind of shored up everything else. They've shored up their tight end position. They shored up their running back position. Interesting to see. But I do think some of these guys that got some money to spend are going to spend it on A.J. Brown. It's just a matter of whether the Eagles are going to find a suitor with a first-round pick. So we'll see. I still do think the A.J. Brown thing will happen this year. I do not think he's going to start the season as a Philadelphia Eagle, but I don't know if it'll be before June. So all you guys that are hopeful to maybe get your hands on an A.J. Brown, I don't think it's going to happen right away, but I do think it's going to happen sometime before the season starts. All right, so with all that said, we talked about just about everything. We had Cyborg on. Great to see Cyborg. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the March Madness bracket pool that Cyborg is doing on Sleeper. You can go to Sleeper, punch in Hotter Than Hell. It's a bracket mania pool for March Madness for college basketball. It's $20 for your first entry. You can go up to 3 total entries at $10 for the second one and $10 for the third one. So for $40, you can get 3 entries. You need to do it very quickly. This is going to all come to a head tomorrow. So you can either hit me up on that, go to Hotter Than Hell, hit Cyborg up on there, and he will get you guys in. It's no different than a regular fantasy football league. As far as going into Sleeper, it's league safe pay. So you can go in and pay your first one at 20 and then do your other 2 at 10 apiece. And Cyborg would be glad to have you. There's a lot going on in that pool. It's fun. Like I said, I finished second out of, I don't even know how many there was last year, 400 or 500 people in it. And I finished second. The pool money was like almost $7,000. I won like almost $2,000. It was a great deal. So that just goes to show you that you can play one bracket and win the goddamn thing. In fact, I was 7 points away from winning the whole goddamn thing. So anyways, hit Cyborg up. If you guys are into basketball, get your brackets done. And other than that, our Saturday show at 7 o'clock, hit up DFS Advisor app and our iHeartRadio stuff. You all know how to get into that. And next week, we got a couple guests coming on and looking forward to getting things going. We're going to start focusing on the NFL draft as we work our way up to the draft. Don't forget, Inner Circle still has our Golden Dynasty League that we'll be drafting. I think we got 7 guys in. We need 5 more for that. That's $150 up front, pays for your 3 years, $50 a year. We got that league yet. We got one Devi league that's still open and taking people, and we have one redraft open. So everything is filled up, and we're doing great. So anything you guys can do to help out Cyborg, make sure and hit it up. Anything you want to do with Inner Circle, fantasy, entertainment, you know how to get it. DFS Advisor, you know how to get it. Come see Jimbo's. Have a good week, guys. Love you all. See you later. Peace.